Yeah, man!
Hello, my name is Miguel, and today I'm gonna make for you veggie chunks or soy chunks or soya chunks, Sloppy Joe. Alright, so you're gonna need two small tomatoes, half baked beans. I'm using 200 grams, half the can, a teaspoon of pimento berry, a stalk of scallion, some soya sauce, about a tablespoon or a teaspoon, 2 to 4 garlic cloves, a spring of thyme, teaspoon of rosemary dried, a tablespoon of dried basil, a tablespoon of dried parsley, and about a teaspoon of sea salt for flavor, and less than quarter cup of oil for frying, and 1 small onion diced. Alright, so now we're gonna prepare. So just take the can, clean the surface. Just use a wet or damp cloth or a clean dry cloth and just wipe the surface of the can. Use your can opener and open the can of baked beans. Alright, I'm just going to use half, so pour half out in a container and put aside. Alright, so now take your scallion and strip the dead leaves off and cut the tips of the leaves and the root part off. Now the onion, I usually like slice it in half, that way it's easier to dice, and then peel the leaves off, the skin of the onion off. Make sure you get all the rotten pieces off too as well. Make sure it's fresh and good. A piece of thyme. Just break the root of this thyme stick off. Piece of ginger now. You just peel it properly. Strip it off. You can just use a knife and just strip it off, like you're scraping. The tomato, put it in a container because we're gonna rinse everything. Garlic, take the leaves, take the skin off. Alright, now we're gonna rinse it. So let's get some fresh water and just rinse your vegetables, your the vegetables that you took the leaves off and strip and so forth. Just rinse that off properly. Yeah, if you want, you can use a little tip of white vinegar. If you know, if like the scallion is a bit dirty, just wash it properly. Alright. Alright, now the garlic. Just crush the garlic to pulp. Just crush it. I find that if you crush it, it breaks down in the meal better than if you dice it fine. Because you don't want people to bite into the garlic or bite any garlic. It's just going to break down in the meal and create a flavor. Alright, now you take your scallion and dice it. By all means, if you have a cutting board, you just put it on a cutting board and slice it fine. If you know me already, you know I don't like using cutting board because I think they carry germs, so it's easier for me. I think it's cleaner if you just get a clean plate and cut it, or use a clean bag and then throw the bag away. Alright, now for mince Sloppy Joe, I'm doing 2-in-1. I'm doing veggie burger as well, so I'm just doing one prep. So I put it in some water. If you want to know how I prep it, I'll advise you to visit how to prepare veggie chunks for cooking properly. I'm not going to show you everything. But what I pretty much did was soaked it in some water, remove that water, add some white vinegar. I did it about 3 or 4 times. Alright, now you put to heat a frying pot or pan. Once it's dry, put your stove gauge on 6, medium high, and just allow the pot to get dry for a minute or so. And then you add about 2 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons of cooking oil, coconut oil preferably. And you add a piece of ginger, it's optional. Add the ginger to flavor the oil. I want to saute the onions first. Alright, so now for our veggie sloppy joe, put to heat a frying pan. Let's choose. Add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of coconut oil, and then add the seasoning and allow it to saute for a minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Stove gauge is on 6, medium high. Alright, so 2 cups of sloppy joe, veggie chunks. I'm not going to show you how to prepare it. You just visit my website to know how to prepare it for cooking. So you allow the onions to saute for about a minute or 2, and then you add the minced prepared veggie chunks. And put your stove gauge on medium high, sorry. And you add 1 tablespoon of soya sauce, a teaspoon of rosemary, half a teaspoon of marjoram or oregano, and oregano, a tablespoon of dried parsley or fresh, and the herbs is optional. A teaspoon of white vinegar, and a teaspoon of brown sugar or granulated sugar, but brown sugar is better. And now you dice the tomato. Fine. Dice the tomato fine. The tomato. And stir fry for a little, or for a bit. We all English people, for a bit. And just add a half a teaspoon of sea salt, preferably. Just allow it to cook for 40 seconds, and then just stirring. Veggie chunks, there's no rule on how long you can cook veggie chunks because you can eat it raw. But you know, you just cook it like meat and flavor it. Veggie chunks is like a sponge. It will take the flavor of whatever you're cooking. Alright, so you just get some water, about less than quarter cup of water aside. And you have your beans ready. 200 gram. I'm using half this can. This can is 400 grams, so I'm just using 200. Alright. So that's been about a minute to 3 minutes in front of your eyes. So I remove the time stick because you know time stick is got the flavor from the time stick. It's gonna splash all over the place. Oh, sweet pepper. If you had some sweet pepper, you could have diced it and put it in your sloppy joe as well. But I don't have no sweet pepper today. It's the beans with the sauce. Now put your stove's gauge on 2, which is like low. So you're just gonna stir fry the veggie mince like this, and let it stay for a couple seconds, and then stir fry. This recipe is gonna be in Rastafarian vegetarian dinners cookbook, so get it. Alright, so it's been about 6 to 7 minutes, just like that, and low, just frying. Alright, now would be a good time to add your beans, your baked beans. Some of these baked beans, the sauce is darker, but doesn't matter. Still gonna give you that same sloppy joe effect and taste, flavor. Sloppy joe is made from baked beans, so alright, so you just use the pot's lid, cover it for a little while, put your stove's gauge on low, almost off low. And because I want this veggie chunks to capture the flavor, I'm just going to allow it to simmer for a good 15 to 20 minutes on very low. Alright. See, I just stir it. This is the first time opening it since. I'm going to taste it. So it's coming together. That's how you want it to hold together like that. Because the objective is to put this between 2 slices of bread or burger bun and make a sloppy joe burger. Alright, it's been 5 minutes, simmering on low. So you just cover it back and allow it to simmer. And so just let it stay and allow it to simmer. If you don't want to use sugar, you can use honey instead. If you're against sugar, you know, maybe you want to be healthy all the way. And the tomato, where some use the tomato, you can use ketchup instead of tomato. So now after 20 minutes, you just turn it off and finish. Between 15 to 20 minutes, simmering on low. Alright, so now you just get your burger bun. Take your lettuce that you prepped. and clean and wash properly, and look to see if there was any caterpillar in it. Alright, so just take a scoop of this. If you don't want to use white bread, you can use wheat. In fact, I wasn't thinking. If I was thinking, I would have done this with wheat because I eat both wheat. I grew up on wheat bread. Although wheat bread, I think I'm not so sure, but I think it bothers my skin. So since I got on my own, I don't eat that much wheat bread. Alright, so this is your soya sauce or veggie chunks sloppy joe. Never know you could have the veggie chunks sloppy joe, don't? Well, there you go. Alright, so now we're gonna taste this thing, but I don't wanna eat it with this bun. I wanna use the bun for something else, but I'm gonna eat it with lettuce. So you can take, yeah, you can eat this with lettuce, or you can eat this with white rice, no, brown rice. Alright, see ya. Alright, for this now, it's leftovers no longer than 2 days in the refrigerator. Veggie chunks, you don't have to, I mean, why would you freeze it? Whenever you need veggie chunks, you can freeze it for like a week or two the most. But I wouldn't. You just go buy fresh veggie chunks whenever you need to cook. And just cook the amount that you need, because you can always leave back some in the package. It's best stored in a package, but don't freeze it. If you don't want to use sugar, you can get some raisins and cut them up fine, 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 and add it to as well.